Jobins, episode 197. Happy Stoner Easter.
Happy Easter, guys.
420 on Easter Day. What about that? That's pretty fucking sick.
That is kind of crazy.
Yep.
How many times has it landed on 422? Because, guys, this is one of the oldest celebrated holidays ever.
Is Jesus blazing today?
Dude, what? Yeah. Hey, I mean, if it's from the earth, there's nothing. I don't think they ever talk about that, but he could be.
Yeah. I hope you guys all have a good time with your family. Hope you have a good day. Had a good day. Now it's Monday. Brendan, how you been?
Been doing good. Just been at work, man, grinding. Got the other YouTube channel, The Brendan Show, trying to get that going with my co-host, the other little Brendan. Got to get him on here sometime. And the girl's been apartment hunting, which was been pretty crazy. She just wants to get more independence on her own, too, which I respect. And I went to a couple tours with her. She almost went to the old place that we used to live at.
That would have been sick.
She skipped that one, though, and then we were just hanging out.
Those were expensive. Those were really expensive.
Dude, it was like, guys, right now she was looking at like $1,200 for a 1-bedroom, which is like, that's a lot for just one person.
It's expensive out here. We're lucky. Yeah.
But other than that, it's been pretty good.
You had a job. You had a job interview.
I did. Yeah, guys. I have an interview that I did, and then hopefully I'm going to get a video interview follow-up for it for a wealth management position, guys, just to be dealing directly in investments. So if I if I do get the position, they would have me do more licensing. So I'd have to get like an insurance license and then another license too. Yeah, dude. Easy. And then they'd give me like a $15,000 bonus, they were saying, if I were to complete all that. So
and you get to work remote a couple days?
Yeah, it would be hybrid. It would be a few days remote working and then a few days at the Tempe office.
Damn, Tempe?
How far? It would be like 45 minutes probably. It would be a bit more of a drive.
It's not the worst. But how many times a week would you have to do that? I
think it's 3 out of the 5. And it would be 2 days where I'd be here. Or it might be the opposite. I don't know. I'll have to look at the... But
you said you were
excited.
You said you were a little nervous before the interview. How'd that go? How'd you feel when you started?
I felt good. Cause
were you nervous at all?
I was busy, so I was like helping a customer at my desk, and then I got the call and I had to tell her like, "Hey, let me call you back in just a second." So that already made it kind of tough doing the video interview, or the phone interview. But then after that, I went into the employee lounge and I called her back. And then we had a good conversation about expectations and what I would need, what like the requirements, the licensing for the position. And she said, usually you hear back in like a week. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm still in that waiting process of like waiting for this guy to follow up with me. And then it was good. The conversation felt like really good. She was laughing a lot, just
You're
making people feel comfortable. So I was like. Felt really good about it.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people get so nervous for interviews. I was when I was a kid, but then being a manager at a movie theater helped shake my public speaking a lot. And then I would also do interviews. Like I was the guy giving the interview. And I at first was nervous doing that, but then again, got used to it. Yeah. But yeah, there's always that little nervous feeling. You go in for an interview and you're like, fuck, man, what are they going to ask? What am I going to do? But just like a podcast or anything, for me, usually as soon as you sit down and you just get into it, it's gone.
In the podcasting, I feel like this helps a lot too of like,
right?
Being able to present yourself. Like, because of so many people have a fear of like public speaking, like you're saying, but we are like always having to talk openly about ourselves and everything going on, even like the tough stuff I talk about too, so it's like makes it easy to be in an interview like that.
Right? Dude. It is a lot. It is a lot. But fucking Schmidty's week, Jobins. Holy shit. Mine was jam-packed. I had a blessed. This was it was one of the coolest weeks in a long time. Busy week. One of the busiest, but also one of the coolest. Dude, not only like within 7 days, dude, I got to do a podcast with Tim and John Anik.
That's pretty fire.
Which was sick. And then fucking Izzy came to the gym to train. Out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I'm at work one night, and Warlight comes into the coffee shop, and he's like, dude, you'll never guess who's over at Sean's. And I'm like, who? And he's like, Izzy. And I'm like, Israel Adesanya? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, holy fuck. Because that was the night he was coming over to stay the night with us. And he goes, I'm going to go over to Sean's, but I'll be over at the house, I promise. I'm like, okay, yeah, bet. So then he did. And sure enough, I had to work, right? He came to the gym the next day. And, dude, another surreal moment, Jobins, right? I had it when I met Tim and Sean. When you see these people on TV for so long, and then, boom, they're right there in your face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you talked a lot about Izzy before you met him.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Jobins, you should have seen this guy. You should have seen how nervous this guy was talking about meeting him.
Yep.
He was like, oh, God. He's like, I hope they don't bring up anything. I hope they don't see
the Jared Cantonier pod.
Well, we had to rep the local guy. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, like I've said in the past, man, like Izzy grew on me. He got a lot. He gained a lot of respect from me just taking his last fight. You know what I mean? And he has had a great career, and he's been awesome in and out of the cage. He's very charismatic. And again, it is a humbling moment, Mr. Brendan Moreno.
You had a nice post.
Enjoy it, because any fan, right? You do it, right? You're gonna have someone that you have mixed feelings for, think bad about, don't like, really like, whatever, because you're a fan of the sport. But every time, dude, and I'm serious, every time we meet these fighters in person, Jobins, they're the nicest people. It's a humbling reminder, right? Yeah. It really is for me, because it's like, man, I could say whatever I want because of what I see on the screen, but when you meet the person and they're just the most humble, nicest person in the world, I have to.
So is that what you're saying about Izzy right now? That he's the most humblest, nicest person in the world?
He came into the gym. Again, this is only a few hours with the guy, so I can't say everything. But the way that he treated everyone at the gym and Sean and all of us, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what, too, guys? Hey, Christian's our roommate, and I fully expect him to watch all of Naruto after he made that post with Izzy that said, hey, I'm doing the Rock Lee with Izzy.
I wish you could have met him, dude. It would have been so sick. I really do. It would have been dope.
But I was like, it would be sick. I'd actually be able to make that post and be like, I know who Rock Lee is. And I know who all these anime characters are that you want to be talking about.
And I've been in Izzy day one.
Yeah. When I'm watching these shows, you should hear Christian in the background laughing, thinking, oh, this is gay. This show sucks. Yeah? Well, did you say that to Izzy? Nah.
Brendan's got a fire in his belly.
I do, dude. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, man, you can't be posting shit like that. Like saying something like what you said was real. It's like talking about fake fandom. Come on.
I promise. And I've
Sorry, Christian. I love you. I don't mean to put you on blast.
Oh, no. He's been on blast, and I love it. The fans love it. We'll get Christian on here one day to defend it. And I will stand by this because I just don't like the guy, and I'm sorry. But I would stand by it with Luke Rockhold.
I don't know. I don't think you would.
You don't think so?
I think if you met him and then he would.
And then he was just super nice. I'm like, God, I did it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't. Let's just stop doing these things.
It's the stories I've also heard. There's a lot to it. It's not just me right now being like this. There's a lot to it. There's a lot.
Yeah, I guess there's no stories of Izzy doing anything bad to anybody.
No.
That I know of.
Right? Yeah. Izzy was dope. Signed my cards, Jobin. Signed posters. I was fanboying. I had to, right? But he was so nice. And he was like, no, you guys have done nothing but show me love. It's all love back. We had a good talk. It was pretty cool. And when you have a guy like that, this guy didn't have to be here. He came into the gym, sat and watched with all the other teammates and watched him, rolled around with David, which was super cool to watch David get that experience, you know, and just did a normal class. And then him and Sean did some training in the cage, and then they played around and sparred at the end, which was super cool, right?
That's pretty sick to see. I'm happy you were able to get some sick-ass recordings of those two fight. Like Izzy and Sean fighting in a cage together. You got the two of the scariest strikers right now in the same cage, and you see that live.
It was like I was playing. It was like my eyes were watching real UFC game. When you get to when you get to mismatch your favorite fighters, I don't think we ever could do with that, different weight classes. But it's like that, dude. Yeah. I got to watch two of the best strikers, and it's like, holy shit. And they're just having fun. They're not trying to hurt each other. And then we were hyping them up. They were doing cool shit.
Dude, for awesome. A normal person that's not like a professional fighter, some of those kicks, dude, just get you by surprise. I'd be scared as hell if someone like throws a spinning back kick like that, dude.
That was definitely one of the coolest things ever. super surreal. Very surreal. But yeah, another humbling moment. You know what I mean? Because you're right. I could sit here and be Mr. Opinion person, but when you meet people in person, it's completely different.
The one person that is like my Luke Rockhold would be Jorge Masvidal.
Why?
I feel like I've talked so much shit about that guy in our previous pods. We've had 197 episodes, dude. There's been times back in the day when I was like, wow, dude, George is like a sucker punching bitch. I remember saying that because of Colby Covington. I was like, dude,
he might actually get you for that if he ever comes to the gym.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's scary because this is like a reality. I will own up to it, though. I would tell him, like, dude, I still don't agree with it, but please don't hurt me.
And now that we're doing shorts, one day we're going to have shorts of all the things we've said. We're going to make shorts of all the past pods. So they're going to go out.
I know.
It's going to get out. Even the things I've said.
George's going to be, someone's going to show George.
Sucker punching bitch. And you're going to be right in front of him. I'm like, oh, no. He'd have fun with it, though. I'm sure he'd be funny with it.
Dude,
you really had disliked. You really dislike Masvidal as much as I dislike Luke Rockhold?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't dislike anyone the amount that you dislike Luke Rockhold. So there's no one I could compare that to.
Why do you think Masvidal's a sucker punching bitch?
Dude, because he got obliterated by Colby Covington. And then what does Jorge Masvidal do? He's a sucker punching bitch. He shows up behind the freaking steakhouse. I'm trying to...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dude, I'm trying to celebrate a victory and you show up like that. It's like you had 5 rounds to do something like that. You don't have to do it there. Again, I don't want to disrespect him because he still scares me.
Oh, yeah.
But...
if he's showing up to that after that, what do you think he's going to do to someone like you if he had... no, just kidding.
Oh, my God, right?
Terrifying.
That is scary. I'm sorry, Jorge.
It's in the streets, man. It's them fighters. Fighters are just like that, man. They're crazy. It's till the death. Sometimes it's like, okay, there was a ref in there. You know what I mean? They want to find out. Masvidal's like that.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy to sleep you and then like do someone like that barking or something to taunt me after I'm like lifeless. No, dude, I ain't trying to mess with him.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, thank God it's today, right? Because if it was like back in the day, like Connor would say, it's like, you only get one chance, and then you're dead, and then the next guy goes on.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool week. Very cool week. Also, Frankie C came. So Frankie C, a lot of respect from me. I wish again you could have met him. He was only down for a couple days and then he was out. But he had a bet with Sean, right, when we were in Vegas, to play each other in 7-Up or Seds Up, something. Just basically
some kind of card game.
Yeah, basically, Texas Hold'em versus 1-on-1. And Sean beat him.
Nice.
Yeah. And hopefully there's a YouTube video coming out.
I like his videos. I like Frankie's videos.
Did I just spoil that? That was supposed to be coming out. God, maybe I should bleep that. But anyway, they had a bet. And Sean won the bet. So Frankie had to come out and spar Sean. And I always feel bad for these guys, right? Because if you've never done that, you just don't know. And I've got to fuck around with Sean in the past where we're just fucking around and he still is so fast and he fucks you up. So that taught me so much, right? And then Tim taught me what it's like to be scared when you're exhausted in a fight. And that's shitty, right? So, and then when I fought Warlike, I learned a lot. I'm sure you learned a lot in your jiu-jitsu matches, right? How exhausting it can get.
100%. And gassing out is definitely no joke.
Yeah. And just the mix of emotions that you're going, walking out, getting prepared for the fight, just everything, right? Respect to Frankie. He prepared for a month. He was going for a month, twice a day, his buddy said. So he was training for it. He was taking it serious. He was eating right? But, dude, when you have never, even amateurs, regular people versus amateurs, you better be some kind of John Wick badass to be able to hold your own against an amateur fighter, because pro fighters are just different levels, right? You just don't know. We don't know how to move the body. We don't know how to breathe.
I don't want you to spoil anything about the content, but I'm sure Sean's a classy dude. He probably didn't even go as hard as he could have. Because the thing that I know you're talking all respect in these things like this, but it's almost some could see it. Some have egos and could think like, hey, that's disrespectful. You think you can challenge someone as good as me right now? You should challenge one of these amateurs that have been coming in, day out to do this. And you think you can just skip the line? That's some way that you could look at as disrespect on Frankie's side. Yeah. I still respect the content. He's just trying to make it interesting. I'm sure the boys are cool with it too. But some other gyms might be like, yo, you haven't earned this yet. and have him fight an amateur that's done a lot more
You're
work.
in the Sean Strickland gym for sure. You're definitely in the Sean Strickland gym. Everybody's always wanted to spar with Sean because he's a YouTube content creator. So I'll back up Frankie a little bit, but I do totally see where you're coming from. I get it because like you shouldn't, but every content creator wants to experience it. Just like I did.
Dude, every fighter is different too. It's not like anyone, like not everyone's that serious about it.
Can I tell you something? Out of all the content creators that Sean has sparred with, Frankie got it the worst. And I'm not going to say worse because Sean wasn't like mean or anything at all, right? But he was taking it, right? And he was going, I give him mad respect. He was taking it. He kept going, yeah, it was a lot of backing up and everything, but like he wasn't giving up. And Sean landed some nasty shots, and Sean always will give you a little licking just to let you experience it, but it's not too much to hurt you. It's just to make you go, oh my God. You know what I mean? And fighters like that, they know how to hit you when you're breathing out to make you even more exhausted, and it hurts even more, you know?
Yeah.
So Frankie, of course, you know, he got it. Yeah. He was white.
He got it.
He was white at the end. And dude, I was just hyping him up. I was like, dude, you got to be proud of yourself though. Like he did good. He did good.
And that's against an elite person. What about like an influencer boxing match in the future?
And do you know what I love about Sean? He's always like this, dude. He felt so bad. He always feels bad. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It was funny. It was awesome content. And I can't wait to see what comes out.
See, how many poker players are doing stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I told him, like, dude, you got mad street credit now on that poker table. You think anyone else can do that shit? You did that. Go earn that. Go use that street credit. Go talk that. Because guess what? It'll be sick when he can use it, maybe like win a poker hand. Talk shit somehow. We need to give him a little sugar hat so he can have one at the poker table.
Does he have his own merch too, Frankie? I'm sure he does.
That was good. That was a good segment, Frankie. Hope you're listening. I don't know about merch, but what I do know is Frankie's dropping protein brownies, and I got lucky to try them over at Sean's house. He had them. They're called All In brownies.
Ooh, that's a good name too.
Yeah,
I like the
dude.
name All In poker related.
And let me tell you, these things were fudgy and delicious, dude.
That's it. Hey, no more talking about it. No free plugs. All right, Frankie paying us first before we talk about his fucking brownies.
Hey, that was him. I told him, I said, hey, send us a box. Send him to Sean, give us a box, and we'll do a thing on the pot for him. And I got to try one. They were pretty damn good.
Damn.
Yeah.
I love brownies in general, let alone ones that are like good for you.
I know, and he was, again, he's going for the healthy ingredients and then also trying to make it delicious.
Did you ask him if they were cruelty free? That no children were in the process of cultivating this cocoa?
These are good questions. Frankie, if you're listening, I would love to have you on the pod. You didn't have enough time this time, but next time you're in town, you got to come do a pod with us.
Dude, I would love it too because I want him to sweat a little bit. I want to be like a bad cop. You can be good cop. And we just question him too. What if he's like, it's the worst mistake I ever made?
Right?
Because all the shit they got.
Yeah.
No, he seems cool though. I'm sure it'd be awesome.
Yeah, after watching stuff like that and other videos online, it's like, yeah, I don't think I ever want to. I don't think I could ever spar a UFC fighter. I wouldn't do it. It ain't worth it.
I mean, when you got a mindset like Frankie or any of these high stakes poker players, that's a weird mindset too that I can't even get on board with. Like to be able to throw down like the one guy, he does just slots, Jobins, and he loses the worst night he's had. He lost $300,000 in a night.
I know.
But he's won like 1.5 million before on slots. And I know. Like crazy.
And he's got that fat stack of hundreds, and he's just feeding them into the slot machine one after another, and he knows the whole thing like the back of his hand.
But
that's crazy.
He was already successful before then. I feel like the only way that Vegas pays out is if you are extremely wealthy already, because everyone's going to lose in the long run. So if you have a ton of money, a lot of capital to throw in.
I feel like Frankie is the opposite of that. I feel like he kind of started small, and then he's just been trying. He's been doing good. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sure you're right with a lot of things, but I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people who started with nothing, and then you win tournaments. You start in the hundreds, right? And then all of a sudden you're doing good. You're getting better. You're working hard. I'm sure there's been workups.
I'd like to see if there's any professional poker players that started off right, less than wealthy.
Because you're right. poker's luck, strategic shit, and a lot of shit talk. And when you have the ammo to bet and be a bully and know how to bet and know people and know on the table, you know what I mean? That's a lot. It's a lot of it.
You know, it's another sport, dude, that's like that is racing. Like NASCAR, Formula One, all that shit, Jobins, because you need to have track time. You need to be able to practice on laps. That's a lot of time to rent out. So all these people that are like the race car drivers usually come from wealth.
Damn.
It's messed up, dude.
Like some horse racing shit?
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of sports, honestly, and I feel like poker could maybe fall under that, where if it's like, if you don't have the money to start with,
is that video games? Dead. Is that video games in the future?
What do you mean by video game? Like video game?
Like the rich will have the better shit to make.
I don't know, bro, because video games are so accessible. Like, are you talking like Fortnite competition?
And you can always be like a fucking coder and hack shit.
That's almost like the NBA or like, dude, it's just sports that don't require a lot of money to play. I think video games probably are the most even level.
Dude, can I tell you something?
Listening.
I'm having straight up like deja vu with Grand Theft Auto. I can't tell you how excited I am for the new Grand Theft Auto. I haven't gamed in 2 years, right? And when the last Grand Theft Auto came out, I hadn't gamed in like 3 years. I quit gaming. I got on a health kick, right? Played volleyball, had a girlfriend. Quit gaming. I went with everyone. I wasn't even going to get Grand Theft Auto. And I just went with everyone. And they got Grand Theft Auto. I waited in line with everyone, right? I think that was like the last wait in line with the boys was that Grand Theft Auto.
I had the physical disc too.
Yeah, I think we were at GameStop. And it came with the poster. Everyone started playing it, and it was like a month later, I got it. And then, boom, back into gaming.
Such an incredible game.
Dude, again, here we are. I moved out here. I was gaming a little bit when we first moved out here. We moved into this house, and I quit gaming. Got a job, started working at Sprouts, boom, chasing all this, boom. Then I started working at the Red Hawk, working out, doing all this. It's just been a lot. But I'm like, man, is Grand Theft Auto 6 about to bring us all back?
I have one concern, bro.
What?
It's the AI capabilities of like how the NPCs act. Because could you still play Grand Theft Auto if like when you kill someone on the street, like their loved one's in the game too and is like grieving and shit like that? Because of how advanced these NPCs will be with like their responsiveness to the player's actions.
It's a video game. I'm for Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm Team GTA 6. Make it as realistic as possible. I don't care.
That's pretty dark, dude. It's a video game, so you'd be okay with doing these things if it felt like, dude, if it gets too real, if Grand Theft Auto gets too real, I don't think I can play it.
Fuck it. Schmidt's Team Black Mirror. I am Team Black Mirror.
That's where the energy I'm getting. That's where it's coming from. It's like these Black Mirror vibes.
Yep. And if there's somehow we can all make money playing Grand Theft Auto 6, like the rumors have been, and then we can get, what if Grand Theft Auto is the way we get immersed? And then...
Damn. What if we are in Grand Theft Auto 7 or something, dude?
Exactly. Dude, it has like a $2 billion budget. The game's going to be insane. And remember how long the last one lasted? How the fuck long is this one?
It's still being played.
I know. How long is this one going to last? 20 years?
Dude, that's so crazy. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been on like the top 20 chart.
I know.
On Steam sales since it's been out, dude.
I don't even game anymore. And low-key, those reels of everyone like driving the map one last time actually hit. It was hitting me in the feels. Man. A lot of good times in the Grand Theft Auto world.
Yeah, dude. You know when 2013, I think.
And you know how different times were? It's crazy.
Yeah.
This one's going to be nuts. And then, because remember what it gradually turned into with the online world? It was so many things in one. It was a racing game, bank heist game.
What their plans are with that. Are they going to make an entirely new Grand Theft Auto online?
Dude.
Or are they going to update the existing one?
It's everything. It's all new. It's going to be all new. So massive. Pretty sure there's a Disney World in the fucking map. That's massive.
Rockstar's killing it. That's going to be the craziest game to come out.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Dude, and then what's crazy too, guys, we were watching this thing about this computer convention that they had, and they have those freaking robots that you've been talking about.
They're coming, baby.
This whole time, and he's like talking about switching out their faces. Joe, these things are uncanny. Like,
it's coming.
Eerie. It was scary. That was Black Mirror level.
Elon said 5 years, baby.
I think it's by Robotics with a K. And
Right.
then they had this other cool ass thing where it was a helicopter opens inside of the truck, and it's an electronic truck. And
I know how, but he was saying that they couldn't get sales in the United States yet. They were want to in the future. And like, how the fuck does that even become legal? I can't you're telling me I'm going to trust you. I'm going to be out in a park somewhere and you're going to be up there in your van. I'm going to see you get out of your van. I'm going to see you take off. And that's cool.
Did you hear what you just said, bro?
It is cool.
You said not in the United States.
I know.
That means China,
Laws.
homies, is going to be I feel like we are going to look like the third world country in like 10, 15 years
Could be right.
because of China's involvement with Meta and all these AI advancements. They're going to be flying helicopters all over the place. They're going to be the Jetsons in China.
Yep. I agree.
What are we doing?
Scrolling.
I'm getting pissed almost just
We're
talking
scrolling.
about it. They're banning that soon, right?
I think TikTok got officially banned for next month.
Good.
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? Well, not good because, I mean, how many of us use it?
Yeah, a lot of people use it. It's just interesting when it comes to that kind of shit, dude, because it's like, damn. And then I saw something, too, where Mark Zuckerberg might have to fucking sell. Is it Mark with Facebook? And
Yeah.
there was something.
Like he would have to try to sell off some
Yeah,
of
I
it.
should have looked at that. But
$18
anyway, yeah.
billion
Yeah.
that they have invested in Chinese market.
It's just nuts.
It's like
There was some shit
an
coming
American
out
company that's multicultural
Mhm.
and global. Like let's not forget about Musk too. He's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But Zuckerberg is like Lex Luthor, bro. It's terrifying. And he's probably got. If we see Mark Zuckerberg move to China in the next 2 years, y'all better be scared as hell.
I'm not kidding, guys. Sometimes, you know, when you just lay in bed at night and you're just kind of thinking about past shit, and it could be about any kind of subject in that moment of time you're having that moment. Sometimes I have that moment where I'm thinking about the Social Network, bro. And I think about my life, where I was, where the world was when I saw that movie, how impactful it was on me, and then not knowing how much this man was going to be involved with everything that he's involved with today.
No kidding.
It's insane. It's like, whoa, man. Like, the time moves fast. I'm old as fuck. I'm going to be 33 this year, dude. It's like, holy fuck, Schmidt, you got to really understand that you're getting older, my man. And the shit that happened was a long time ago. And it's just like, look how the world is now. We so need a social network, too. It's unbelievable.
What school did he come from?
Harvard, right?
Harvard.
Yeah.
Y'all, we need to take a way deeper look into Harvard, especially after the freaking
Whoa.
MK Ultra video you showed me today too, and they were talking about Harvard's involvement there as well with all the professors that they had getting these vulnerable populations, mainly students, to do these crazy ass tests.
Sometimes I'm like, holy shit, it's real. The spiritual shit's real, and the way the world is with energy, like there was a different way to. I really think, Jobins, that there was a different way to where we could have had free energy. I think energy is a power tool again, just like other things.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And maybe I'm crazy, but the shit that I've seen, I'm like, damn, dude.
Dude, you were definitely not crazy when we got shit like Project Stargate, a real freaking thing. The U.S. government program that came from the 1970s to the mid-1990s, funded by the CIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, and Army Intelligence. And they had this thing, Jobins, called remote viewing. And you know what that is? That's the thing from Stranger Things that Eleven can do, where she can see the Russians talking to each other in like that black space. Very creepy, bro. This is real. And they don't have like solid evidence, but that's what they talk about experiencing. Is like, and then they say it's been disbanded since like 1995, but let's be real.
Really?
They probably have something that we don't know about, and it's probably just called it something else, but they're still doing this shit.
I love it. I need to watch that.
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I would have watched that and have a little more
give
back.
And it's Project Stargate.
Stargate, yeah. Project Starfish.
Dude, and then what? They always come up with these project names that are like named after science fiction movies, and it's like, well, how much are and in Hollywood being implicated in all the crazy conspiracy theories we always have? What the hell do we not know?
Well, the one I was getting Brendan with the other day, Jobins, is the Osama bin Laden one.
Yeah.
Because Brendan's brother was on the ship that supposedly dumped his body into the ocean.
Yeah, shout out my brother Nick.
Now,
USS Carl Vincent.
why is there always got to be weird shit when it comes to these things? Because there is lots of conspiracies you can look up. And here was the one that I found interesting. Joe had the one guy who was there and witnessed Osama bin Laden being killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget the other guy, but I know he's a part of the shit because he knew everything. But he doesn't really believe it. And he brought up some shit. You can go on the Joe Rogan Experience and watch it. But nobody had ever been dumped in the ocean before, right? And then what I love is that Transformers came out in 2007 and they dumped fucking Megatron in the ocean. And that shit's before that. So you tell me, Jobins, you go look it up and you tell me. Now I get, like, I respect America for wanting respecting his religion because you got to be buried within 24 hours in their religion. So hats off for respecting the religion because no one's above religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think he's alive or dead?
I hope that they really did get him and they're not lying about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because another reason too to bury him in the ocean is so that no one can make like a shrine at his real burial site because it's in the middle of the ocean. Not that they are not going to do that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that he's really gone and that they were being honest about that. But time and time again, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, we're going to get 80,000 documents released from the CIA and it's going to be like, oh, look at all this that happened. And he's going to find out he's in Argentina.
That's what, yeah. I think he's dead, but it's just very weird. It's every time, Jobins, there's always just some kind of fucking crazy shit.
You know who he is? You know where he is?
Why?
He's the El Salvadorian president that's been getting all this news lately. That'd be crazy.
Dude. Would I be shocked anymore in these times we're living in, guys? Absolutely not. The Blue Origin, you want another conspiracy theory, Jobins, is the one that's going around with them. And here's another thing. You got 6 stars on the badge. Mm-hmm. You got 6 faces. And the thing upside down is the devil. You tell me. And then Katy Perry's just floating up in there and has a butterfly. Again, you want to talk about MK Ultra. Mm-hmm. And then what's freaky is the fucking interviews that they do after. It's like, oh my God.
They are weird.
They did not feel like real reactions. They felt like they were acting. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't fake, Jobins, but what the fuck was that all about? What the fuck was that all about?
Do you think that just happens to humans in general, bro? Is that when you get that much celebrity, you get that much of an image, that you just lose touch with your humanity? Because you're right. All of those interviews felt like artificial, not a genuine reaction.
The way they were talking, Jopins, that felt like witchcraft. They came out that shit like they were on drugs and, oh, it was so empowering. Oh my God, I'm healed.
We've never been to space though.
I've been healed.
What if your ass didn't come back down and then you were acting like that?
Dude, then I'd be like, there's something up there. I'd be like, that's another Black Mirror episode. Don't fucking get on the ship. Because if you sent me up there and I come back down, I'm going, Brendan, I'm so healed. And I'm a different and I'm just acting different after that. Something's up. Because they just seemed, look at Katy Perry's face in that video, Joe, but you look at that face and you tell me, what's with those eyes, man?
Bro.
Orlando, we need to talk to Orlando.
Orlando's gone.
He's gone?
Orlando's gone.
Where is he?
Okay, he is with them. If there's conspiracies going on, he's with them. And you want to talk about, I don't think it's space at all, bro. That's the problem. It's Blue Origin to begin with.
Yep.
It's freaking Jeff Bezos. It's Amazon. And
can I tell you something? I got a bad feeling, Jobins. I got a bad feeling. There's going to be one that explodes. And whoever's on that ship, it could be big. Whoever's on it, they're gone. That just got everyone's attention, right? A lot of people, it got a lot of backlash, right? Mm-hmm. The whole thing was just kind of
Why
weird.
Does the rocket ship have to look like that upside down and look like the face of Baphomet, dude? The devil face.
Why is it like, was it supposed to be like, again, it feels forced on us. This empowering women thing going up in space, was that what it was really all about? Because, again, that's forced, right? Mm-hmm. Go up there and experience this. You're rich, you get to, okay. You're forcing these things on, like what? And then, again, with all the symbolic shit, make it what you want. The shit is in front of us. I really believe so. I really, truly believe so.
Man.
The devil works in front of us, and it uses it's all there.
You know what,
and
though?
it's weird.
Ben Shapiro was making an argument just about the same thing because he was like, it's always the really wealthy that experience things first, just like cell phones back in the day.
Yep.
So I guess this is just like a necessary step for like even the common person to like be able to eventually take commercial flights into space.
Again, Tim Dillon kills it. And what he said was funny with Joe Rogan saying that should have been a Willy Wonka contest.
Yeah.
He still should do that. But watch that be the one that goes. Something's up with it, Jobin. Something's up. It's just all weird.
Damn.
But I would, and it's interesting that Joe Rogan wants to go do it. Isn't Drewski going on it? I think Drewski wants to go on it.
Drewski would be crazy. All the Nelk boys would definitely probably have a viral video about it.
Speed wants, Kai and Speed.
Does Andrew Tate get into a spaceship?
What if Mr. Beast does it? They take out Mr. Beast. I just don't know.
They would not take Mr. That's their golden boy. Oh my god! And what's Mr. Beast's show on? Do you know? Amazon.
YouTube. Oh.
His show.
Oh yeah.
Is on Amazon by Jeff Bezos. Mr. Beast. We're talking about the devil's face already.
Circles in the thumbnails.
Honest, there's weird. It's a whole entire weird connection to all that.
Right.
And then, you know what else was freaking crazy that made me. Guys,
what?
Did you even know anything about the Unabomber? I didn't know shit about the Unabomber till today. I really didn't.
Well, tell us
I've heard of his name. I knew the guy sent bombs out and killed people.
Yeah.
And then
in the middle of a shed in the middle of nowhere.
But he had like an agenda and manifesto. The manifesto is titled "Industrial Society and Its Future," and I was reading it on the FBI.gov because it's like it's released openly, guys. Very, very Black Mirror-like.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about how it's going to destroy society. And there's a lot of things that like seem really relevant today that we've all been talking about.
And two things. The thing that they said in court was that there's a little bit of the Unabomber in all of us. That was cold. And then the fact that he stood by his own ground and he didn't want to get the insanity plea because he was like, I'm not insane.
Dude.
It's like, that's crazy, bro. And it is insane because it does feel a little relevant to what's been going on. So what was his motive? Yeah, dude. If there's an afterlife, that's someone that you always
His name's Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
And then he didn't even die that long ago, dude. He died in 2023. He killed himself after his cancer had been advanced.
Yeah, that shit's scary, dude. And the people, you just do your everyday, and then a bomb shows up, gone.
And the
just living your everyday life.
The Oklahoma City bomber shared a cell with him. They were talking about,
right?
And they were getting along and stuff, dude. It's scary, the radical people out there, but it's also like it's sad that they had to be radical for like some kind of message to get out.
Right. Yeah, the Oklahoma City bomber. That's weird how those guys met in prison. That's kind of freaky. We went to that memorial site. It was very eerie. Again, when you go to memorial sites like that, if you've ever been to one, you feel the energy that's there, and it felt very sad and gloomy. It was very weird, but also like a healed thing too. Very weird to experience.
Yeah, dude, this is such a weird time. It's cool to do it on Easter. Like, I don't know, man. It feels like it's the closest to Jesus right now, and then we got all this crazy news stories to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one that was crazy that they were talking about, because dude, you got me on this whole rabbit hole with the YouTube videos we were watching, and there was another one about Anonymous, which is that hacker group. It was all about hackers today, guys. We're just talking all about hackers. And then Anonymous, they were hacking, and they found out, dude, in Denmark, before 2015, Jobins, in Denmark, it was legal to participate in bestiality.
What?
With animals. Yeah.
Denmark.
And guess what? Jobins?
Where's Denmark at again?
In Europe.
Yeah.
In Denmark, people were flying out, driving out across the world, sick freaks, to go and do that shit in there. Think about being the country where you're like, yeah, come over here, guys. We allow this freaky shit.
Well, I'm sure. Well, remember in like Clerks and stuff, like people watch girls fuck donkeys and shit. That was in Clerks.
That's this, dude.
Is that where they were
up.
doing that?
Basically, dogs, donkeys, all this kind of animals. And then Anonymous was like, "Nah, this is gross." And I respect the Anonymous for doing it though.
Fuck yeah, that's fucked.
And they were like, "Yo, do you know your country allows this?"
Uh-huh.
And then it was like, it got all this outrage, and in 2015 they finally took it out. So I was like, hackers do some good stuff too, dude.
Do you think Hostel is real?
I think
if something like disgusting, like that's disgusting.
That's disgusting,
right? And if something horribly disgusting can be allowed like that in a country where and the population doesn't know, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's got to be something like Hostel that exists that people don't even know. But would it be legal? Because I guess Hostel's different because it was an underground murder thing.
Dude, that's such an underrated movie because
it's terrifying.
Not only was it an underground thing, but it was like they were paying the police and the government. It was like funding the infrastructure of the place. That is what is messed up about the Denmark story because they were getting money for doing that.
As a kid, I wasn't as scared to Hostel because I was like, oh, I would just never put myself in that situation. But then as an adult, I'm like, dude, you go out with the boys to a new country and you're having a good night and you meet some pretty girls. You're dead. Mm-hmm. You died. It's over.
Yeah.
And like, oh God, they get us all. They'd get us all.
That thought crept in the back of my mind a few times when I was traveling in Europe, and I was like, dude, it'd be so easy for someone to do that.
Oh my God.
It would be so easy, Jobins, for someone to kidnap you in Europe and take you to somewhere like that.
And
it's crowded.
What if they drug you? And you just barely even talk to them, and then they slip something. You look this way, they slip something you drink, and then you're drugged. You wake up Hostel. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Dude.
Should they remake Hostel?
They definitely, dude. I bet it's real. I bet there's a place out there where that shit's happening.
That movie was freaky. And what always bummed me about the original Hostel, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but the guy who was in Dumb and Dumberer, who played
he played one of the main characters.
Yeah, not Jim Carrey's. Jeff, what's his name? Yeah, but he played him. He gets it bad.
Oh, he played as Harry in Dumb and Dumberer.
Harry.
That's who you were. That's the name you were looking for.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, but he always got it bad. That movie freaked us out when we were kids.
Oh my God, dude!
That was
Eli
a big
Roth.
movie.
He directed that movie in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie though on PSP, Jobins, I had it on PSP, and it was because I was going through that stage. Mm-hmm. But there's a great pause scene where he goes in, the guy from Dumb and Dumberer, like you're talking about, and he goes into like a little prostitution place, and the chick's butt cheeks are in it, and I would always pause it at that scene.
And what would you do?
Do what, what's not
with your PSP, man?
100%. It's portable. What? Yeah, it's portable.
Your dad's like, man, Sue, Brendan's been on his PSP for a long time lately tonight. He hasn't come out of his room.
If they had a recording of how many times I paused the PSP disc at that point in time,
PSPs were lit. PSPs were lit for road trips when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. They were lit.
And discs were cool.
Yeah, right. Speaking of movie trailers, I'm excited, Jobins. 28 years later, the new trailer dropped for it. Fuck, it was intense. I can't wait. Yeah. It looks like it looks like they took it serious. It looks like it pays a lot of homage even to the original. The intensity. I love the chase camera shots. Everything looks great. The music and everything that for the trailer.
You got to pay whoever did those trailers really well because they did a great job, dude.
Right? And Cillian Murphy hasn't been revealed again yet, and supposedly he's in it.
I hope he's alive.
Wait, is he in it in that one scene? It kind of with the beard, but it's real quick. I don't know. But I don't think he's been revealed. I really hope he's alive, and him coming in will be awesome. Them being on that island, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, what? Okay, so there's obviously going to be some big-ass strong zombie that can... Because obviously something happens in the beginning trailer where they see something, they all get wrecked, which is kind of like homage to the original tunnel scene, which is sick, right? And then there was another scene in the trailer where it looks like one jumps over that big-ass wall and then comes up behind the other guy. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's some kind of super fucking zombie.
And you know what I'm saying? Is that super zombie that because I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be just like 28 Weeks Later. And if you haven't seen that one, it's like follows the one zombie for a while.
God, what if Killian's the super zombie? What if that's him in the tunnel?
That would be kind of cool. I'd be kind of cool with that just
because
he's such a character in it.
Are we able to save the super zombie and bring him back?
Dude, they messed up, man. They messed up because there's one thing. I'm a little OCD like this, but it's like you guys skipped 28 months later.
I know.
You skipped it.
Maybe that could be
28 weeks later. No, they already skipped it because it was like 28 years is perfect now. It's been enough time for that to be cool. They should have done it 2 years after 28 weeks later, and it would have been crazy.
I'm not going to lie, dude. The cult shit going on the island, the separation, I love. Him with his brother going to the main island where they're like risking it to get shit. And then obviously it's probably going to come back to the island. But dude, I'm very excited.
Is it his brother or his son?
Oh, is it his son?
You know, I don't know. Aaron Taylor Johnson, right?
And
he's a good actor.
He's such a good actor. What's his name? Ralph Fiennes. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Yeah, Harry Potter guy. He looks awesome. He sounds great. The pace of the movie looks like it's gonna be a nonstop chase film, which was similar to the others.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think this is my prediction, Jobins. Aaron Taylor Johnson's gonna die, and the kid's gonna run into Ralph Fiennes' character, who's the bad guy, I think, and he's gonna have to try to get away from that dude.
He goes because he's like going mad,
and not only that,
like he's kind of going.
The
mad.
Bad zombie that's like too much to handle. That zombie is gonna save that kid just because it's doing all that shit, and he's gonna be able to get away.
So the scene with all the heads, with all the skulls,
yeah,
is that the cult, or do you think that's the advanced zombies place, and they're going in there, kind of because that one scene where Rise has got that thing, it looks like they're kind of like looking for shit.
That would be honestly a cool spin,
right?
Because they're not zombies; they're infected. So it's like they're still alive.
Because
so why not develop more?
And he kind of said we're man and infected mix. I think there's going to be a lot more to it. I think it's going to be sick. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. And the priest at the end opens of the trailer who's like, "Yes, my children," and they're all just fuck you. He's getting wrecked.
You know what?
That guy's fucking.
You know what
crazy.
I think so too from that scene. I think that's the priest from 28 Days Later.
No way.
Because think about that scene where Cillian Murphy's character, it's the very beginning too, he like wakes up and he's traveling the town. He goes into a church
at night.
And then that priest wakes up because he's infected and he charges at him. It's like the first time we get infected. I think that's him. Because you know how they showed at the, like there's going to be a prequel type spot where it's like everything that happened before the events or like the initial events. That's one of them is the church scene.
You think so?
I think the church scene comes at the beginning of the movie.
You think so?
Because that priest, he's the same priest from 28 Days Later. Obviously, different actor, but the same guy. Same character. That's my guess. I think it would play out well.
So where does that church take place on does it take place on the mainland or the
mainland?
Island?
Mainland.
On the mainland.
Just like the scene where the girl's like, the mom is like, stay in here. Like they're gonna show everyone get wrecked at the beginning of the movie, and then it's probably gonna cut to 28 years later, and then you're gonna see the island and everything.
So is we gonna see little baby Aaron Johnson?
Maybe.
And then that's why it's trying. Okay. I can't wait. Fantastic Four trailer, Jobins. I'm going to give it a chance. But here's my flaws with it, right? Me and Brendan rewatched the original chase scene from the original Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer. And it was lit. It was exciting. The fact that he takes him up into space and then throws him down compared to what we're seeing in the trailer, I'm a little nervous about.
Dude, they just can't. You said it perfect. They can't get Fantastic Four right since the original. And I think they did such a good job on that one. Chris Evans kills it at the Human Torch. Honestly, you know what I asked myself when I watched this trailer, Jobins? I was like, do I hate Stranger Things a little bit more? Because it pushes these people, and it's like, let's get this guy in every movie. Now he's in Gladiator 2. That was okay. A little underwhelming for one of the greatest movies of all time.
He's in that new war movie that we want to see.
And now he's going to be, he's in, and I'm not, no diss on him, but they, like, come on, we're going to just throw him in Fantastic Four. They did it this freaking same way last time. Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller. Let's get the big names of Hollywood. And you guys always make a dumpster fire.
It's like we have an obligation, right? We have a duty to watch this because it's setting up every fucking thing else. And here's the thing with Galactus. Galactus is supposed to be fucking massive. So seeing him walk through the town.
Agreed.
With his foot like that, I'm a little nervous, but again. But the one thing, dude, that I like is how Mr. Fantastic's like, yo, we sent out a signal and I fear someone answered back. Like, dude, wouldn't that, like, let's be real, like, we don't know what's out in space. Like, dude, what if we sent a signal and some shit came back that was scary as fuck?
James Gunn ruined everything.
Why?
Everything has to be so tongue-in-cheek, so like, yes, it's a comic book. Comic book movies were great because they tried to be movies rather than comics. Now movies are trying to be the comic book rather than a movie. That's my thoughts on that. Mm-hmm. It's like...
Well, the first 2 Guardians were so damn good, and the third Guardian was okay. I need to rewatch it again. But the first 2 were so good, and he did such a great job at it. But it was more when Guardians first came out, they were so different they were the outcasts of the superheroes. I was so excited when they announced that they were making it. I was like, dude, this is actually going to be pretty sick. And then it was.
Now it's everything.
Because of how awesome it was.
Now this is Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's Fantastic Four.
But
thanks, guys. Thanks, James.
It is the setup. We got to see it, man.
And then it's even worse, bro, because it's like, oh, let's have fun with it and make it like the original 60s comic design. And then if anyone gets upset, we'll just say multiverse.
Something with the Time Stone when Doctor Strange was looking at all the different things, universes and everything. Something about the Time Stone. And then he didn't use the Time Stone. Apparently, we're going to find out. Obviously, because Iron Man's going to be...
Oh, my God. He's going to be Doctor Doom now, too.
And so, is it going to be like the comics... Because guess what? Oh boy, Silver Surfer's a girl now.
Yay. What does that even add to anything, dude?
Hey man, why can't Silver Surfer be a girl? I had a joke. Ready? Here's mine. This is how they should have done it. They should have transitioned Silver Surfer, right? He's a boy Silver Surfer at first, right? And then they get him weak, right? And then he melts down into his little Silver Surfer board. And then he comes back out as a girl, and he's more powerful. Bam. You're welcome.
I love it.
Right?
I would watch it even more.
Exactly.
Dude.
She's going to save the day, though, right?
Why was changed Silver Surfer? You know who I would have changed to be really progressive?
What?
Galactus. Why isn't Galactus a chick?
Galactus
good job,
works
Marvel.
For her female name, don't it?
Good job, Marvel. Real progressive. The underling gets to be a chick, not the main bad guy.
Because Silver Surfer's gonna save the day, Brent.
Thanos should have been a chick too.
Something about Thanos too.
Very unprogressive.
I think something with Thanos is coming back. We have enough. At the end of the day, Brennan, damn it, we started this shit. We gotta end it, and we gotta watch the new wave, okay?
Mm-hmm. And Thunderbolts is gonna come out too. Florence Poe, you know her. Mm-hmm. She's gonna be throwing 200-pound guys over her shoulders and whooping their asses. Because that's just realistic.
Back to the Fantastic Four though. Like, what do you think? Like, how do you feel about the plot? So far, it seems like they already saved the day. Fantastic Four and what's her name? They're gonna have a kid.
Those characters are all going to suck. They're not going to be Fantastic Four.
Right?
Dude, I'm sorry because I'm like, I love Fantastic Four. We grew up on Fantastic Four. Guys, Jovins, Fantastic Four should rival the Avengers.
What if they all die at the end? What if the Fantastic Four all die at the end?
Maybe.
To start the setup of this.
That's such a MVP level team. That team, the Fantastic Four, like they could rival the Avengers. That's what I'm saying.
You know what she says in the trailer?
What?
It always should have been. It should have been us. It's supposed to be us. That's what she says. It's supposed to be us. They're supposed to save the day. They're made for it. They're made to die to save the day. Fantastic Four.
They're not made to die to save the day.
I'm calling it right now. You're hearing it right now. Schmidty's calling it. Fantastic Four. They die at the end to save the day. Starts the fucking new wave.
But if they die, like, how are you gonna bring them back then?
I don't know. Dude, they brought Iron Man back. They could bring them back.
They didn't bring him back. He's another character.
For now. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's going to be some Gandalf Lord of the Rings shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to give it a chance because I feel like I have an obligation. Fantastic Four. There's our new trailer review. Together trailer. Dave Franco and Alison Brie. Nothing too crazy here in the trailer, which I love. Doesn't give too many things away with dialogue. There's only one bit dialogue at the end. Other than that, it's all music and visualization from the Neon movie company.
Yeah, they've done a lot of good movies recently.
What I love about Neon is they always like lighting. The cinematography with neon is always on point. And so far, that's all we got in this trailer. We got good cinematography, shots. I love Dave Franco. I've always been a Dave Franco fan. Excited to see him do a horror film.
Alison Brie's a good actress too,
right?
She's kills it in Community as Anne. She's been in the show Glow as a female wrestler. I do like her stuff,
right? And all we get so far is it looks, from my observation, is a couple at a house with some dogs, and it seems like their house or wherever they're staying is involved with some shit. There's something in a hole, and they start getting possessed. There's some crazy shit going down.
Do you know they're married in real life?
Are they really?
Dave Franco and Alison Brie are married in real life.
No way.
That's a real couple.
Do you know how much you actually just made me want to see this movie even more? I love that shit. Who else just did that recently? It was it Jason Sudeikis and no, who was it?
That was in the married couple that did a movie together?
Yeah, I'm blanking right now, but that's sick. There's been couples that do that.
Doesn't always work out well.
Yeah, well, no. I just had it. Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Remember
Emily
that one?
Blunt
and also a horror
Josh,
film.
Or Krasinski.
From The Office. Who was
Jim.
an awesome... I enjoyed his Mr. Fantastic. He got wrecked.
His Mr. Fantastic, I think, would have been a better casting option.
And he got wrecked. Yeah.
Than Pedro.
Yeah. No, hey, Pedro, again, he's just got everything. That man's gotten everything.
And The Last of Us. He's good in The Last of Us. I think he's the best part of that show.
Yeah.
His acting.
He's such a great actor, dude. He's a phenomenal actor. I think he's going to do a good job as Mr. Fantastic. I think we'll like him.
And then, I just think it's a downgrade, man. I feel like the guy who played him originally was perfect for the role. And then the guy who played Ben was perfect for the role. Now you got to CGI the hell out of the thing.
Low-key, us rewatching the chase scene between Human Torch and Silver Surfer made me want to go back and rewatch it because it was sick.
Why you were like, it looks pretty good, and I was like, why even change it, man?
And it was still funny. The beginning of the clip and the end of the clip was funny because of Captain America.
Captain America? Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, go check out the trailer for Together, Job. I'm super excited for that. That one looks good. Brendan showed me Toxic Avenger. Dude, that looks fucking sick.
I love the casting choice for that one.
Right?
The Toxic Avenger.
It looks funny. It looks culty, like an 80s cult type film with our world. Oh, dude, I can't wait. That looks like it's
because it's a remake, dude.
Yeah.
The Toxic Avenger had 4 parts to it. And they're all low budget, campy cult movies.
It looks sick. It looks like a good time, man. Looks like a good revenge, and it looks like it's gonna be funny too.
And the fact they cast a little person for a role that doesn't specify that you have to be little for it is pretty cool. Well, Peter Dinklage is that good.
Peter Dinklage is a fucking legend, and had some of the coldest Game of Thrones was the greatest show up until season 6. Great show, but when Peter Dinklage said, "What did he say to his dad?" He goes, "I'm not your son."
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's deep.
Oh, and then when he actually choked out the stripper, the whore.
Oh my god!
When he choked
she was
out,
calling his dad's name out in bed. Dirty episode.
That season 4 of Game of Thrones, the whole lead up to the him getting the trial and him getting everything, incredible. One of oh my god, Peter Dinklage.
Dude,
Peter fucking Dinklage.
The guy that plays his dad, Tywin, he's a legend too. That whole scene is great.
I'm not your son. Poof. Oh yeah, fucking epic. I remember having chills. I get chills even talking about it. If I could Men in Black myself, it'd be for the first. I'd get rid of actually season 6 and 7, and then just go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Men in Black me for season 6 and 7.
It's gonna be good though.
Yeah.
And then Together, like you said, and Final Destination is another one that I hope. Dude, we saw the trailer for Final Destination, Jobins, the other night, and honestly, bro, I think it's gonna be fun.
No.
I think it's gonna be a fun movie.
It looks like just the last 3 over the top fucking deaths. No, that's a no for me. Sadly, I'll go watch you, but for me, Jobins, that was a no for Schmidt.
I don't know, guys. I got high hopes for Final Destination.
If they could have just, how come in the first one, a simple shower scene scares the fuck out of me, or a simple house fire with a knife scares me? Why do you think so?
Have you gone back and watched it? Because I watched the end of Final Destination again, where it's like and she's trapped in the car, and he's like, it's gonna blow up.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty corny still, dude.
Really?
It's still a corny movie.
I know, but like, even Stifler's death, the car's underneath the train, and it shoots out a piece of metal that slices his head
It's a very
off.
cheap kill, cheap death.
Well, no, the key for me is a slower, like a little drawn out to amplify things. When you draw things out, it adds intensity.
He died so fast, went right through him, and
I know
he's
for
gone.
that one, for the knife scene.
And what about the girl that gets hit too? That
for
was
the
really
knives,
fast.
I know those are the jump scares. You got to have jump scares. That's called good directing, actually, because you're having jump scare deaths mixed in with some slow deaths, and that's how the first one starts in the bathtub scene. And then what did you do after you watched the first Final Destination? How careful did you get in your tub after that?
I was like, yeah, it was
you
scary.
were afraid
it was
to slip.
A scary movie.
You were afraid to slip in your bathtub. That's what made Final Destination.
Dude, this new one had a good ass scene where I was scared to be on a trampoline.
It's not a fucking what's the thing? It's not a fucking what's it called?
And the guy, oh my god,
what's it called?
Steps on the glass
when it goes down. The little square cube things.
The square cube things.
They got numbers on them, 1 through 6. It's a game, but people like to stack them up and you knock them over. Dominoes. It's not a domino effect. Yes, it can be a domino effect, but they make it like it's like a new optical illusion domino effect. It's like some crazy ass. Like there's so many crazy things to lead up to this person dying.
Yeah, because death is literally doing his thing.
It didn't need to be that many crazy things in the first Final Destination. At the end of the first Final Destination was so fucking lit. He figures out that it actually kept going, and then his buddy was gonna die, saves him, and then he's like, "Oh my god, it skipped. Who?" And because of and the thing hit, making the sign fall, and it comes up right behind him. Bam! End of the movie. That was lit. And it wasn't that. Did it take 45 different things to make that sign fall and kill him? No, just a couple bang bangs. And now I was afraid I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine a sign falling on you?
You know what it is?
What?
It's society, dude. ADHD.
Fuck,
it's
man.
It's the fact that, dude, we could be satisfied with
oh my
that.
God.
We were satisfied back then with that explanation. Now kids need to see step. Or are they not going to hold their attention? It's not so much the movie's doing what it has to do in the time that it lives in.
It could be simple. It could be simple. I can make it simple and scary by being distracted on a phone, texting and driving, and what that can cause. I can make that fucking scary.
Bro, that same scene you just talked about where the sign just comes in and gets him at the end.
Yep.
The audience nowadays, those Gen Z, younger than them, they're just ChatGPT. They're talking. They're like, "Whoa, how would this happen? This is a problem. This is a goof. This is a goof. You are gonna get fact checked out the ass." It's like that's why they do these ADHD setups now. They have to show you everything because that's what the audience needs.
It started with the third one. It started with the third Final Destination.
The third one is slaps.
The third one is still, because of how crazy stupid the last ones have been. The third one's good.
They're all bad, dude. Honestly, this next one's gonna be funny. It's gonna make me laugh sometimes. It's gonna be over the top, like you're saying. Just like the third one was so good. He's like, dude, let me off so I can see my girlfriend, and they all get all great writing every time.
Yeah, when the race car one, when everyone was at the race car track, that one fucking makes me hate movies sometimes.
Yeah, that one was great, and it was in 3D.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's when I was like, oh my god.
God, I'm so happy we've lived to see so many movies.
Final Destination 2 was even like, dude, when the kid got smashed by the glass, that terrified the fuck out of me. When the guy slipped and the ladder fell into his eye, scared the fuck out of me. I remember.
Well, dude, how much younger were you then from that one to the third one?
I know,
that's such an unfair way to look at it.
No, that dude. Hold on, no. If we never saw, I remember my mom. I was watching that with my mom, and she was like, "Oh, gross!" I can still hear her. Oh, gross! Oh my god, dude, you slip, Bink. You just slipped perfectly underneath that fucking ladder to douche. And that bitch was dangling right above his eye, Brendan Moranin. And then it just goes, kapoosh. That still would fuck me up. That wasn't much.
That was a bad scene. Ooh.
Right?
you still get those moments in all the final.
And it all started because of a little fire. That was it. Made him get out of the apartment. He fucking was in a hurry, slipped. Anyone could do that. That is realistic. This fucking gumball flying in the air, landing in a bucket, knocking the bucket over, hitting someone in the shoulder, makes them drop their spatula. The spatula falls onto the ground, sparking the match. The match, yeah, no. Thank you, Final Destination.
Give both those scenes to a Gen Z kid and see which one they would approve of more.
Oh, my God. I can't take it anymore. Yeah. And I'm interested. We haven't got a trailer yet, I don't think. I haven't seen one yet for I Know What You Did Last Summer. That could be good. God. That could be good.
Shannon looked right at it. She's like, that's your type movie right there.
It is. It is. If you can just keep it realistic. Let's keep it realistic.
They're going to ruin it again for you.
It's going to be over the top.
Oh, they're going to over-explain. There's going to be all these sequences that need to happen for this to make sense.
Right. It's nuts. But yeah.
Dude.
Some UFC talk from Schmidty real quick from us. Dude, Jobins, those videos, they show them all the time, right? The highs and lows of the game after a fight. That video, dude, of Diego Lopez going around was so fucking heartbreaking. Him just balling in the back, his team being there for him. You can't. It's like, oh my God, that's so devastating. Yeah. These guys put everything, and they put their all into it. And he didn't achieve what he was his whole life reaching to get. Fuck. There's no one else in that cage but them, dude. That disappointment, like, dude, letting people you love down, it sucks, man. It's not good. Letting people down is like the worst.
Dude, at least he was on the biggest stage to do it, dude. So many awesome people that are like, that lose and like even not being at the top of the top. You know, it's such a freaking unforgiving sport.
And that's what makes these guys so legendary, because that's not going to break him. Mm-hmm. He had a moment. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker's going to come back, dude. He's going to want it back again. That's why I respect these guys so much at the end of the day. It's crazy. These modern day gladiators just going in there, putting it all on the line. And then it's a butterfly effect. How much he got paid, where his life goes. Mm-hmm. That all because of that moment, that night. It's fucking nuts. This is the most wild roller coaster of a sport, dude.
Hey, dude, he'll always have the sport, though, and he's coaching, too, which is so cool. And it's like giving back to the MMA community. He's legend.
Right.
And he lost to a legend.
Oh, dude. I know, but when I saw that video, I just was like, God, I just want to hug Diego Lopez, man. Tell him it's okay.
He just needs to get in there and whoop Yair Rodriguez's ass next.
I know. That's going to be the fight, dude. I think that's going to be sick. What I'm excited about, Jobins, I always love when badasses from other organizations who have been in organizations for a long time get their chance in the UFC. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking excited for Aaron Pico, dude.
Who's that?
Aaron Pico, been in the Bellator for the past 8 years.
Oh, wow.
He's got 17 fights were in Bellator. He recently goes, I don't want a participation trophy for the UFC. He wants that gold. His goal is to be champ by 2026, so next year, right? He's like a freestyle wrestler, boxer. He's 13-4 in the last 8 years. Had an awesome career in Bellator, a lot of awesome fights. Guy like that, man, it's like Michael Chandler. It's like Patty. Patty's a lot younger, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But obviously,
Aaron Pico.
He's a little older. But when you just never know, dude. These guys get their chance. They get to finally step up in the top of the food chain UFC. Mm-hmm. It just brings a lot of excitement. It's always exciting to see what happens, because we can see where it doesn't go. You know, you can have a fucking tough loss, decision, anything.
Right.
Or you can come in fucking being explosive. You're the next big thing. So all eyes on Aaron Pico when he gets his fucking. I don't think he has a fight yet, but I can't wait to see who it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, thanks for mentioning him. I never heard of him before, so I'll keep an eye out.
I'll show you some highlights. What do you think about Cain Velasquez, dude? Getting 5 years. Joe Rogan was talking about it, and he was saying that he should have if there's any time to have an temporary insanity plea, it's now. I agree with that. Bro,
he shouldn't even get that time.
Like, I get it. I get a judge and everyone not being able to do what they do. You freak out. You chase a guy for 11 fucking miles, 40 caliber. You're fucking high speed. Bam, 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 bam. That can kill anybody. Poor Betty could be walking her little Shih Tzu and get fucking tinked. You know what I mean? Mm. None of those people deserve getting killed over this situation, right? Mm. But how could you not feel for Cain Velasquez, and any father would do the fucking same thing.
That guy's in trouble too for what he did.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? it's such bullshit that you should be legally allowed to go out and fucking kill people like that.
Right.
And that's how I feel. That's so one of the most ugliest, atrocious things you can be doing is being a predator like that. So Cain Velasquez, in my opinion, is a totally like justified.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is stoicism a thing? Yeah, is due process a thing? Which you maybe could argue, but he is truly guilty. It's like I would have a retainer moment if this like happened in the future and someone killed a guy like that, and then the guy like is 2 months later found out to be guilty of these predatory things. I'd have him like 2 months waiting in jail because it's like we don't know if this guy really did all this stuff. But as soon as it's cleared and I know he's a predator, I'm like, this guy's free.
Yeah,
that's how I would look at it.
Right.
I get the law to, you know, you have
you got to be proven guilty. And we are in a society, but that's just because of social media. When something's out there, it was always like that, right? People had TVs, they'd figure shit out at night on the news, and then the public would have their opinion. It's just at a much faster, wide rate, right? But yeah, dude. I feel like we should fucking gather a party whenever he gets released. Everyone should know when he's getting released, and fucking when he walks out, be fucking woo. You know what I mean? Trump pardon the guy.
He's gonna be. I mean, ain't no one gonna mess with him in prison.
It's just crazy. Apparently, he's already gotten credited for 1,283 days, which is 3.5 years. So, be kind of cool if like he just got out in like 6 months. They're like, yeah, this guy shouldn't be in here. He does some shit, and then he's out. Shouldn't even be in.
He makes it tough for himself, probably looked at as a danger to society, though. You got a guy who has experience being in freaking battles, modern day gladiator.
I know, Cain. I wish you could. We all crash out, right? You crash out in a moment like that, crashing out. I get it, right? Had he just done it right, had he just done a little more right, had he really, maybe if he'd have just got that fucker out of the truck, beat his ass, beat the fuck out of him, and called the police, maybe things would be a little different. Because, yeah, you can't, no matter what, you can't go shooting, driving someone, chasing down. Because if you kill someone who's innocent, that's fucked. So just get the guy out of the car, beat his ass. You know what I mean? Who not? Dude, I can't imagine. I feel so bad for Cain Velasquez. And it's crazy because Dana and, Trump are so close. Like, Trump, get his ass out. I mean,
yeah,
it's like
dude, he could pardon his ass.
Cain Velasquez was one of the biggest stars when he was in his time, especially for Mexico, dude.
Yeah, but how much did Cain Velasquez contribute to Donald Trump's campaign?
That's
well, I'm just asking the real question. That's how you get out, man.
Right. Here's a topic. Did you see Jake Paul announcement?
No.
He's fighting Julius Cesar Chavez Jr., former middleweight champion, in Anaheim, California, June 28th. Guess what? A lot of people are talking shit. A lot of people.
Is it because he's a smaller guy?
Right? They're like, oh, no one's going to watch this fight, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, they're going to find a reason to hate on Jake Paul no matter what. He's doing what everyone was hating on him and telling him to do, and now he's doing it. Again, here we are, Jobins. If you're getting paid bank to box people, and you're Jake Paul, and you came in this, and you weren't a boxer, look at the photos, dude. His body's transformed. He's taking it. He trains seriously, takes it seriously. And here he is fighting the people. He's got to build a resume. He says he wants to be champ. He's got to do it.
You know what, dude? Honestly, if Cain Velasquez had either of the Paul brothers' stoicism, he'd never be in trouble right now. Seriously, I really, truly think that, dude.
You think Logan Paul has stoicism?
Logan Paul and Jake Paul, both, their emotional intelligence is levels higher than Cain Velasquez.
See, that's interesting because I think there's, again, a tree of that intelligence because we've seen both of them crash out. We're human. Everyone crashes out.
They've never gone to do anything to where they would be arrested for it. Their crash outs.
Emotional intelligence. What about the Japanese thing? The forest.
He was
That's
younger.
not very emotional.
You build it up.
That's emotionless.
That's not fair to really talk about someone's prior emotional intelligence. Right? Your emotional intelligence has grown a lot. My 100%. Own has. I'm not the same.
I agree. And that's why I've said in the past, hey, I forgive Logan for that.
I would also argue the Paul brothers have had a lot more conditioning, a lot more ability to practice their emotional stoicism. Cain Velasquez got hit with a freaking... just blindsided by that crazy revelation. And then, temporarily
he had every
insanity.
right to Hulk out.
100%.
I think. Yeah.
The Paul brothers, dude, and then watching Paul American Jobins, I relate. It was like we're brothers, you know. We do try to get content out and everything.
Right. You know what's tough though with this is it's the same day as International Fight Week. Same day. That's crazy. So he's competing with the UFC. That's interesting.
Hey, he loves. If anyone loves doing that, it's Jake Paul.
Logan did say like the brotherhood of Logan and Jake. I do love when it's good, right? When Logan hypes up Jake, it's fire. And he said this. It was a bit that I loved. He goes, he's talking about how he's been fighting a lot and Jake's putting himself on the line. And he's going, and he's biting off a lot every time. But let me tell you something about my brother. That boy can chew. I got fired up. I lost my shit. I was like, yeah, that boy can chew. I'm thinking that like Jake Paul's like as he get ready to box. I'm like, shit, if my boy, if you were saying some shit about me like that, or I was saying some shit about you, that'd be lit. My boy Brendan can chew, baby. Let me tell you, that boy's been biting off a lot of shit, but baby, that boy can chew.
Yeah.
It's hype.
Such a hype. Dude, their relationship's
brothers.
Legendary. I almost am jealous that we don't have diss videos on each other rapping.
And not only do I want diss videos of us just crashing out on each other, but I also want the good videos where I'm like, you're the fucking best. You're crying. You're like, I love you so fucking much. I want it all.
Schmidt, more like bitch. You know.
But I'm telling you, man, they're always going to find a way to hate on Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, for what he's doing and accomplishing, I got nothing but mad respect.
That's how you know what I feel like. That's how you
Testing
know
yourself.
You've gotten really successful and famous is when people are hating on you.
Yeah, and he wants to do nothing but test himself. It's like, damn, putting your reputation online every time. Did you see what Tom Aspinall had 2 words to describe Jon Jones?
The greatest?
He said, strange guy.
Strange guy.
Yeah, strange.
Yo, I could believe that.
Right? He said it on a video from like UFC on TNT Sports. That's the fight that needs to happen. Jon Jones needs to get his shit together. Jon Jones needs to make a decision. And he needs to fight Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall better pray that Jon Jones never fights him. That guy is a deranged maniac. Jon Jones is an animal. You do. I remember laughing at you because you were talking about StipeMiocic looks so in his head. Look how he doesn't get punked out by Jon Jones. Jon Jones doesn't need to punk anyone out. He's the scariest person on the freaking planet.
I love you, Stipe. You're saying?
And he's deranged. He believes he's a God-fearing Christian who will I think if there was crusades going on, he'd be in the front line slashing motherfuckers down.
Yep. This is where we're at right now with all the fights that have happened where everything is lined up. Right now, it is the swan song for Jon Jones. This is it. You go out there, you beat Tom Aspinall, the bow's been fucking pulled. Like the box is wrapped, it's underneath the tree. You're done. And especially if he goes out there and it's a statement, like a finish over Tom Aspinall, there's no he's the great, you know what I mean?
He's going to get in that cage with Jon Jones is going to get in the cage with Tom Aspinall, and then he's going to baptize him because the next week that boy is going to church.
Yep. And then what will you say if Tom Aspinall knocks out Jon Jones?
I'll say,
Jon Jones
you know what I'll say? I'll say the spiritual war has fully come, and we're losing bad.
Dude, when they faced off, Tom was big, dude. Tom has a big-ass head. He's taller than Jon Jones, and Jon Jones is big.
And he's a good, true mixed martial artist. Right? I think he knows everything.
But Jon Jones is just so damn good. It's the fight that everybody wants, it is the biggest fight that they can make, and it needs to happen.
If anyone's going to beat Jon Jones, it'd be Tom.
It needs to happen. And then I love how Patty was kind of biting off at Conor a little. You know what I mean? That was cool. It would be a fun fight. Conor versus Patty. That would be a really fun fight. But again,
Conor gets wrecked.
I know. It was just like
Patty destroys Conor, bro.
Right? Can you imagine though, had Patty been around after when Conor became double champ? That would have been fun. That would have been good times. That would have been good times. But yeah.
Dude, Conor's too busy, man. He's going to be running the whole country. He's still talking about it.
Right?
That would be so sick. I really hope that happens.
Yeah. Did you see that DDP is hurt and he's out of UFC, which is the International Fight Week 317 versus Khamzat Chimaev fight on hold?
Oh, shit.
Schmidty, I think this is a easy sweep fix. I know it sucks, but interim belt. Hamzat versus Amabab, who just beat Izzy.
Ooh, that's a good fight.
That's what I think
that's
needs
a
to
good
happen.
fight. He looked really good against Izzy. Yeah, that's a good fight.
Hamzat's been working. Amabab's looked really impressive. Get the bullet. Let's see. How long's DDP going to be out? Who knows? Right now it was on hold, so I don't think it's been officially like called off or anything. But if it is going to be for a while, that's what I think should happen.
Man, dude, I would love to have seen DDP fight him though.
Right?
I think
I mixed that up, dude. I was so stoned the other one pod. I mixed that up because we got next month in Canada, May 10th. We got Bilal Muhammad versus Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, what's his name? Makhachev. He's waiting. That's what's going to determine what he's going to do.
Dude,
we got this chamber effect, like we were saying, man.
Bilal Muhammad though, he trains with all those guys, don't he? Like, I think he could handle the Russian wrestlers.
Muhammad dude, his face, he scares me. He looks like a bird, like a fucking I'd be so afraid of his eyes, they're so big, you know what I mean, and bug-eyed, and then he's got this sculpted warrior head, you know. It's like he don't miss a beat.
I felt bad, bro, because I saw a fake news story that I thought was real on X, and it said Bilal Muhammad was fighting. Oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. He's the next up, dude. Alex. He lost to. He's the light heavyweight champ, but he lost.
Pereira?
Alex Pereira. I saw a fake news story that said Bilal was stepping up to fight Alex Pereira because his opponent had dropped out. Whoever that last guy that beat him was. And I told Mo that because I was like, Mo, Bilal could be the first Palestinian double champ, dude. And then he's like, is this real? And I was like, dude, I just saw it on X. It's real. And then guys, I was looking all over it, and I was like, I'm sorry, Mo, it's not real.
Fake media news.
Fake media.
It gets me sometimes.
But I was thinking that would be such a good fight because Bilal's good, dude. I really think he's gonna take out Jack.
Right. There's just so much anticipation with fucking Taporia, man. He was just on Joe Rogan. I loved his cold line that he said about Conor if they fought. He's like, he'd have to die and be reborn. That's fucking cold.
That is cold.
Dude, Taporia, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But we're all eyes on May 10th. May 10th, we'll get a lot of answers. And I can't wait.
My whole thoughts have changed after Patty's last fight. I think Patty could beat Ilya. His jiu-jitsu's good, too. I think he could.
So Patty gets hit. And Taporia hits like a truck. And Taporia's boxing is a fucking slice and dice.
He hits like a truck in featherweight.
Bro, his boxing's so good. He's so good. When you start, if there's a phone booth, he wins every fight. And it's almost like he's so good at managing distance with his punches and getting in. It's crazy, bro. And if you can land the dot on Patty and stop the takedowns, fuck, I'm scared. And if it stays that way, I think Taporia would win. But if Patty can be the stronger guy,
it's a tough one, dude. I like both those guys, and that's the fight I want to see. I'm not going to lie.
Patty's got the size. But, dude, you can't always count out the smaller guy. Sometimes those smaller guys get in, and they can get in. They hit hard. They hit like trucks, and they put you to sleep. That is a fight I do want to see. Yeah. Just very excited. Lots of big things coming. I can't wait.
A lot of good fights, dude. And then, you know what else has been crazy I've been hating everything Disney Jobins, but I do like the new Daredevil show. I like it.
You like it?
Daredevil Born Again. It's like the best thing they've had so far. Because the Netflix show used to be so good, dude. And then the guy that plays Matt Murdock, Daredevil, such a good actor and fits the role perfect. And I'm like, all right, this show's pretty good. And Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think.
Oh, yeah. OG.
He's such an OG actor and so good. Dude, that's who you should be for Halloween or something. That guy's such a badass. Kingpin is such a badass, and he's like the mayor of the city now.
What's that war movie?
Full Metal Jacket.
One of the greatest war movies ever.
He kills it in that movie, too.
Right? One of the greatest.
But that's been a good show. Daredevil's one of my favorite superheroes, man, because he don't have any superpowers, but he's blind. And it's like,
remember the Ben Affleck one? Remember that one?
Dude, yeah.
That one was kind of fun. As kids, I think we liked it, right?
We did, man. They used to be good.
Yep. Ben Affleck, man. God.
And then he's Batman. And what's he going to be next?
Every time I see that photo of him just standing there smoking a cigarette, it's like, God, I feel that.
I would have made Ben Affleck my Silver Surfer.
Nope. Judy got it, man.
Yo, shout out Ruth. Shout out Ruth.
Yeah.
Someone watched Ozark. Someone watched Ozark and said, that's my Silver Surfer.
She is a phenomenal actress. I love her so much, and I did love her in Ozark. I didn't like the way she went out, though.
Bro, you know who should have been Silver Surfer? Laura Linney.
Laura Linney?
Because she was Wendy from the show. Shout out Wendy from Ozark.
Yep.
She was my favorite. She was a boss bitch. That's a real boss bitch in a show you want to talk about.
Nope.
Not Ruth. Ruth
She got
was
Wyatt
trash.
killed, man. She got Wyatt killed. Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, you are.
She got Wyatt killed, and that crushed me. I still can't.
You should go back and watch that show. I want to watch
Every time I
Ozark
watch
again.
a Wyatt scene, I'll know that he's dead, and it'll hurt even more. Yeah. This fucking jacket Sean hooked me up with, Jobins, I fucking love it. Shout out, Sean, you're a fucking legend. And, yeah, we're over at his house, right? And we're sitting in the backyard, and I'm talking about the fights and everything, and I'm sitting there, it's me, him, and Sono, and I'm like, dude, you see how much the fucking nosebleeds are?
How much?
$400.
Yeah.
We have tickets on our wall from UFC 225, which was like on this side. Oh, nope. I think I got hung up in my room, actually. For $90. And we were in the middle of the arena. Times have changed, my friend. $400 when those. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, you know how much? He's like, yeah, $400. He's like, what if I told you I bought you one? And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, what if I told you I bought you one? I'm like, well, I'd run around naked in your backyard now and freak out. And he goes, well, you don't have to run around naked, but yeah, dude, I bought you a fucking ticket.
Dude, that's legendary.
Jobins. Schmidty's going to be in New Jersey. Are you going?
I'm seeing still.
Yeah, I know you got a lot. You're going where again? You're going all the way to Ireland.
Yeah, my mom's 60th. She had it in February, but we're celebrating it in September.
September's when you're going.
Mm-hmm.
June, July, August, September. So that's 3 months after June. Yeah. Yeah, a lot to figure out.
Dude, the corporate overlords, too, they're like, man, you only have so many vacation days. So.
I know. It's so gay, dude. So gay.
Modern slavery.
Right? We'll figure something out. But yeah, I know Brock, Chris, I know they want to go. All the Jobins, let us know in the comments if you're fucking going. We got to cause hell. We're going to cause a ruckus. We're going to make everything massive.
We make everything.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep. I feel like a man on a mission. I feel like a hired hitman. We got shit to come up with and do. New Jersey's going to be sick. I can't fucking wait. Sugar Sean, you're a fucking legend. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for the ticket.
That is legendary, dude.
I love you.
The champ, dude.
He's the GOAT, dude. He's one of the best ever. He didn't have to do that for me. And like Jobins, no matter what you saw on Viral, we've always bought our tickets, bought our shit, we've gone. The last thing I ever want to do is have Sean worry about anything. Fuck that. So the fact that he was thinking about me and got me a ticket, it's insane. It's insane.
It is awesome, man.
It's insane. I told him, I'm like, what do you need done, blood? What you need done for a couple months? You need grass lawn. You need some Schmidty barbecue.
Damn, a couple months? Damn, man. I'll
Dude,
buy you a ticket if you go and do all my shit for me for a month.
Make the offer. You never make an offer.
All right, I'll give you $400. You do everything.
Bet. A month? $400 a month?
You said months.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear that, Jobins? He said months.
Well,
he said, what do you need, blood, for a couple months?
Well,
I'm getting a few out of 400. Don't think you're getting 400 a month.
Well, I'm not going to need it.
Every 3 months.
Let me tell you.
Every 3 months.
Let me tell you, Schmidty's definitely going to need it. So, yeah.
No.
So, yeah. Yeah. Shout out Sugar Shane. Good episode. Jobins, we'll see you next week. We love you. Thank you for always watching. We appreciate you. And stay safe. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, guys. We love you.
Love you.
Love you, Jesus.